Yeah, Colin, hello, we're live again. Colin DV Boy, aka Paige and Kyle Vickery, paging one Kyle Vickery to the stage. He's got some balls. Because I need to tell you something, person to person and everything, and you need to be man enough to hear it. You know? So, Paige and Kyle Vickery, Paige and Kyle Vickery, aka DV Boy, aka Mustard Squirrel, aka person that cries and whines a lot. Paging you to the panel. Surely somebody will get that out to you. Hell, if you ain't up and freaking got a Discord notification, then you're already, or about to be, which is a very good likely chance of happening. Oh, it was funny seeing April G argue with Pam. Oh, that was just such a coincidence how that was just allowed to continue and stuff the way it did, didn't it? With the little fake pretending to be, let's not go there, but oh, no, all of y'all was eating that shit up, especially Paula. Sly, you literally called her out for that already here a while back. Did you, like, what happened? Did she get you under her spell again or something? Let me guess. It's Paula after all. She bribed you, didn't she? She paid you some money, didn't she? Come on, Sly, tell me the truth. Is that why you flip flop so quick back with her? I'm genuinely curious. I mean, I really want to know. No, I'm not a fan of Jim Terry. What kind of question is that? You ought to know better. You're a troll. And person that's a troll or whatever. Obvious. People think I must be a fucking idiot. Good morning. Well, I get that it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 to be precise. That's not morning for me. And again, maybe you're 4 or 5 hours ahead. I have no idea. I find it hard to believe. Oh, and you know something, Kyle? I uncovered part of your plan. So apparently, Kyle had somebody, probably because I doubt he could do it himself, pay for more traffic to the short that I posted to piss him off. And the one that, you know, the stuff that he's referring to try to get people to tell a lie. And because it'll be several different people possibly he's trying to get, it'll be believable. You know, that they'll, definitely. And it's not because I'm scared. I mean, it'll vindicate me in the same breath, but I'm not going to, if you think I'm going to sit back and just because it would vindicate me, I'm not going to request that they fucking pursue you. You're out of your mind. Like, the trail's all here. Who the hell spent money to purchase fucking views from goddamn Italy? Because most of the majority of views on that video, I looked at it, they came in 2 different spurts on the exact same day, all from Italy and all not subscribers. Yeah. Just like when some other people bought, and I had a bunch of traffic from Vietnam. Not a bunch, but I mean, 30% traffic from Vietnam's crazy. I mean, I ain't nobody in fucking Vietnam watching me. Come on now. I mean, could it happen like 1 or 2 couple people here and there? Maybe. But that many people in one stream at one? No. No, that's bots. Those are bots that have their location set to Vietnam or are in Vietnam. That's all that is. If you can't hear me, I don't understand it. Shit, hold on. Can y'all hear me better now? My earbuds aren't really that dirty, but I'm just making sure and giving them a quick wipe over and look. You're not supposed to use Q-tips in your ears, but I do as well as many other people do. I just do it very gently. I'm trying to clean up in the morning. Like these people, that person signs, or well, not by hand, but electronically signs my timesheets and shit. Say what you want. Say that, oh, you know, you about killed him, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. You don't know what you're talking about. He didn't wash his hands. We're using the example of the picture he took a week later when he was asked randomly to check on it. And he didn't plan to touch anything, which he didn't. The only thing I touched was just the neck, that photo. And yeah, my finger had some fucking shit. You know why? Because I was smoking. It wasn't like that when I did the shit. I had gloves on. What am I going to have to do? Literally, I might mute the video just in case so you can't hear anything. But I can put the video up of the procedure of what I actually did when I did it. And you can see for yourself what the fuck I got on. I mean, if I need to do that, I will. Oh, and the other thing, what was it? Oh yeah, they brought up about how peroxide and alcohol. Well, first of all, no shit. I can use Google and shit too. It's not dangerous or anything like that, obviously, because I grew up being taught when you had a scab all the time. Anytime I had a scab, open wound, anything that could get infected or whatever, they would use peroxide and alcohol. Always, you know? But I also know that shit changes over time. They realize, you know what, that actually can make it to where the healing is slower, and that's exactly what Google said. And I looked at all that, and I told him that, and he said, I don't care. He said that's what I did when I was growing up. He said, do it. You know, I wasn't doing that while I was working. First of all, I didn't do that in the capacity of a job. I did that as a favor to him because he didn't want more of that crap left in there, which he didn't know. I had to look back there and tell him, I think I've explained this already. So how the fuck do they still keep fucking? It never will make sense. Oh, okay. If y'all can't hear me, I'll tell you what. Let me, I'll verify this real quick. Huh. That's funny. People say they can't hear me, but for some reason, when I went to stream or when I went to YouTube just now and I played back my video, my live a little bit here, let me turn my volume up. When I played my live back, for some reason, I could hear myself on the replay. Huh. That's weird. Is that supposed to be a troll making me think that my volume's fucked up when it's not? Like, haha, I got. That's so dumb. That ain't gonna bother me. What are you, fucking, the kid from goddamn, whatchamacallit, Charlie Brown? Oh, also, I've got to find the full clip to something because they clipped something and it was Harlow asking me about LARPing and crap. And I know it was, she had asked me about something to do, I think it had to do with them talking about Bambi or what have you. And I gave an example, and people want to say, you know, and squirrel. I mean, come on, dude. Like, you are so ate up, man. Like, I feel bad almost for you. But then again, it's hard to feel bad for somebody that beat women up 3 different fucking times, sometimes in front of their children, and God knows what else you've done. But look, I'm not sitting here making shit up. Notice I'm not just saying, oh, squirrel fucking, you know, got a 16-year-old pregnant. No, I'm not going to lie on you. I'm going to tell what I find. Anyways, I guess you ain't going to come up, huh, bitch? I'm going to give you just a few minutes to hit that link, squirrel, and then I'm gone. I ain't doing this shit. I got better shit to do. Plus, I'm going to go to bed soon. I don't spend all my time on here anymore. I love you, Brandy. Oh, what the fuck? Damn, that should have been one over. Now I went to sleep about it. Hold on just a second. Really nothing to hold on to, guys. He either comes up here like a man, he likes to pretend to act like he is, or he don't. Show some integrity for once. He don't do that though. Shit, that's wishful thinking. I might want to get my own head looked at again after thinking something like that. Squirrel, double-headed shit. That'd be like expecting, you know, I mean, to expect that would be almost the equivalent of trying to expect big pharma not to care about profits. You know what I mean? It's just like not going to happen. it's unrealistic. I don't give a shit if he's in bed. He's got plenty of worky buddies that's got his number and stuff. They can get him in there. If he don't show up, I'll get him a little bridge version. I already left some of it in the comment for him. I want him to at all be able to say, "Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. He didn't do that. He's lying." No, I don't want to give him any chance to say any of that. There we go. I got that done. Gotta do one more. Oh, I did speak with a recruiter today. Anybody cares about him here? Everybody always wants to say, "Oh, he's not trying to do anything. He just wants to live off his granddad as long as he possibly can." Yeah, that's why I'm fucking making a damn genuine attempt to see if there's any way possible. You know, if all I gotta do is get off these fucking antidepressants, and they wasn't for sure if the anxiety, if the bends, it wasn't for sure he's got to get back with me. And even if usually the answer is what I'm thinking it is, there's also always a chance, he said, depending on what your records say when they look at them. And if, you know, you can get a waiver to go through and you're okay. I mean, they used to be a lot more strict on it, but they had recruiting issues. And, part of that stems from the fact there's so many people more today than back in the 80s and 70s and shit that are diagnosed with depression and stuff. A lot of people, especially the Scientology crowd, and the way I thought about it and thought on it for a while was, you know, um, basically it was, you know, from the documentaries and stuff that I read and everything, the way they put it is that psychiatry, and it is true, psychiatry doesn't have no blood tests. There's no mental or MRI exam that freaking, there's nothing that they can point to of substance that proves or shows or nothing that validates their theories. Like the whole thing about people, they think that dopamine and serotonin, it not being able to regulate, is what's the root cause of depression. But they really, that's not a fucking fact. That's a medical theory. It's a train of thought. They used to think the best way to treat a bunch of things back in the day and swore by it. Guess what? They don't do that shit today. Several examples of shit like that. They don't do lobotomies no more. You know, doctors don't just prescribe tranquilizers out the wazoo to housewives or fucking people and just, or even children, like they did back when anyone seen The Queen's Gambit. She's at that orphanage home or whatever. And they give them these vitamins, but they also would give them a tranquilizer too to take to try to keep the kids calm from fucking acting out. And the star of the show, the protagonist, she gets addicted to them. She's like when she takes them, I don't know, she goes into her head. It's weird how they made it seem. When you look up on Google, like, what's that medicine supposed to be? Because that's what I was like, what the fuck medicine is that? And come to find out, it was supposed to be a representation of, like, basically a early benzo, not like Xanax, but like one of the earlier benzo, like Librium or something. I was like, that's crazy. They actually used to give that shit to kids. You know, then they came out with the controlled substances scheduling and all that. So some stuff, like, what was it? That's why they can't do any fucking research on weed still, because federally it's controlled substance type classified still. A lot of people talk about that. All right, I guess he's not coming. Just got back, busy work day. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, Troc, thanks for coming back. Too unstable to join the military from what you've seen in 2 months. You haven't seen shit. You heard me talk on here and get frustrated and vent my frustration out when people act dumb and try to, put me in harm and shit. It's been 6 years since I had my little incident related to mental health. The totality of the circumstances, the fact that I wasn't committed, I volunteered to get the treatment, and the fact that I don't even take as much antidepressants I take anymore. I'm prescribed 2 a day, but I only take one. So I'm pretty sure I can get off of that. And my Suboxone I'm not on anymore. And the Librium I know I wouldn't be comfortable, but I can get off it too. If I really want to, I can. And, I'm giving it a shot. If they're willing to give me a shot, I'm willing to fucking do the requirements to give it a shot. So they look at the totality of everything. My femur and the stuff in my wreck, that's not a problem. I don't have a criminal record, that's a problem. I'm not, it's not like, he said that the big thing was that was a single event. Like you wasn't diagnosed with schizophrenia or suicidal ideation. I said, no. He's like, oh, well, then, yeah. He said that would make a difference probably. He said it just all, like he said, they look at the totality of it. Oh, I'm not good under pressure. Yeah, that's exactly why people go to the military and go through basic training. That's the whole point of basic training. Numbnuts. To be able to handle stuff and function as a good leader and soldier under fucking pressure. Not just as a soldier or whatever, but in any job you do, any situation. It's the whole reason for basic. And since I was an ROTC in high school, and they can verify that, guess what? I already know a lot of basic shit. You know, I've done drill before. I know how to march. I know how to do right face, left face. Like, I know a bunch of basic crap already. I just wish I would have done it when I was younger, before all this crap happened that I went through. But he said even if you join younger and, the stuff still happened, if that happens to somebody, they get placed on a non-deployable status, and you could stay that way and recover and then be back fine. But if during that period you can't deploy because you got an issue, or you're prescribed something, whatever, and they deploy your group of people or whatever, and you can't go, that's when you get discharged officially. He told me. He said you wouldn't be dishonorable. He said it would be, honorable but medical. So he said don't. He said don't beat yourself up. That he said a lot. I've had a lot of people that he said some that I tried to talk into joining when they were younger, and they're calling me back now 10 years later. He said there's a bunch of people too that are just waiting for it to be a year since they're off a particular medicine, and then they can join. So y'all can say that I'm not a fit there, whatever all you want, but like I said, we'll let the more proper people determine that instead of yourself, okay? And you're stupid negative comments. Am I chopping up a nation? Wow. Sure, okay, whatever you want to think. If you must know, I just killed a fucking beetle, alright? So you're talking about that stuff that slamming you heard and stuff. Dude, shut up, man. You people are fucking desperate. I ain't never seen so many people that, y'all just love drama. That's what it boils down to. Y'all just love and want there to be some hot, like, oh my God, what? That's crazy. Like, you just crave it, man. Like a drug. Fucking desperate ass motherfuckers, man. I had my younger days when I experimented and stuff. I've got no need to want to do that anymore. I know what things feel like. Uh, I know. I remember the experience too. Not every time, when you was younger or whatever, if you tried something. And I'm not saying people should do it, but I had a part of my guidance, and from one side, the opposite end, my family and stuff, you know, 'cause I ended up sharing, like, I've been smoking cigarettes and stuff. I got told, well, it's natural. You're gonna come across people, and but they did tell me, don't ever do anything, extreme. And if you are, you need to know about it. You need to try not to think that you won't do it. And if you can, not do it. But when you're in high school and shit like that, you experiment with stuff. Not all do, but some people do. One thing I could do and go back would probably be avoid ever having to take a damn pain med. And I would have got that surgery done and shit. Fuck that. Because that was the first time I got them. I didn't know anything. I was just following the little directions they tell me. And I take that crap, man. I'm sitting there playing my Wii. That was back when I had a Nintendo Wii back then. And I just all of a sudden, man, just got a wave of like I started getting like heavy in the head, but warm and fuzzy feeling. I didn't understand it, and I ended up going online and just doing some general research. Like I didn't read a whole bunch into it. But yeah, I figured out what that medicine was then, and I was like, damn. But yeah, I shouldn't have been given a refill when I went back. You know, I went back and I was able to con my way into getting a refill. I was only 15. I mean, we're talking 10 milligrams too. Back when they had the 500 fucking formulation of Tylenol in it. They'll fuck your liver up. Use that for a long period. That's why I kind of hate it though, but I can't really take anything else over the counter besides Tylenol. I can't fucking take an NSAID. I'm stuck with them. Oh, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. DV boy, DV boy. They'll be trying to lecture me about not giving them attention. Shit. They've been getting very minimal anything from me. I have shown so many examples and easy to tell things that can be confirmed. You know, if I had known about that picture, I would have already talked about it, posted it, pointed it out. That was 3 weeks ago. You know, I don't look at, I mean, they're always talking about that I'm watching, I'm subscribed, da 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 da. Like, no matter how many times I show examples that prove I'm not. I mean, especially when you add all those individual examples together, it's just like, I mean, how could you think otherwise? I mean, oh, I know, because you want that to be the case. That's the problem with these live streams and little communities of people and cliques that form together. They can essentially just about, with their little echo chambers, cause whatever type of information float around and be accepted by a group of people. And those people will try to spread it. And luckily, sometimes when it gets to a certain channel or place that people don't just take people's word, and they look, and if they can't confirm something themselves, and there's anything fishy, they're going to call it out. They're not going to just accept it, you know. So, the places like Paula's and different ones, they got no business of wanting to, you know, get really to the truth. They want some of that bullshit in there. They want the drama. She thinks it's funny. I was sitting there watching her a while ago. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's funny seeing fucking Pam and April fight, but you know, I'm not even gonna try to lecture either of them because fuck both of them where they talk about me. But still, I think it's obvious she's not friends with either of them women. She just wants them around for a show. Just admit it, Paula. Come on. You know it's true. Sly, you called her out for that exactly. And now you done a 180. God, how much money did she give you? Must be a lot. Good amount. She must have gotten some good old drugs to boop up her ass. You know, Sly, they might work better and absorb better, perhaps. I don't know. This is just a guess, but I would think that maybe you should take regular showers because then perhaps, you know, no dirt, debris, and nasty stuff, dingleberries with like You don't want that. It's just nasty. I mean, especially for somebody who likes to boob shit, you, you ought to keep your asshole clean. Uh, you say I doxed your kid again and you don't show fucking proof, I swear to God. I'm not even gonna address it on live though, Slab. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the fact, I'm gonna take something, whatever it is that you saying, and me saying, like, show the proof, and when you don't, or you do something else, like, I'll just tack it on like a little, or I'll make a post of it. So people see. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Anything that they try to really deep fake or try to cause a lot of people to false believe, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to start phasing out how much, because we've cut back on the attention on them, but we need to even cut further back, even more. We're not done yet, so I've got to start phasing out and getting out of even the not so um, intense habit that I've got still yet with it. And the only habit of it is that I just can't stand, nobody. I wish there was a real life example of seeing somebody called a pedo or done wrong on this shit, and they leave, and they are the bigger person, and it dies off. Does anybody got an example of that ever happening? Because everybody says like, oh, that's what you should do, and it'll work. They fail to realize that there was a period I was off for a month. And yeah, I know it's not the longest, but fuck, it was a month. I just took damn near almost a week or two off here a while ago. Besides, what, a post every now and then when I got on? I wasn't in your chats. I wasn't watching. Hell, I didn't even go to Bambi's. You know, not because I, don't have a good time over there or whatever. I just didn't go because I wanted to. I wanted to also illustrate to her and Miss Harlow too. Like, you guys have been here. They've been hearing nothing but I'm stuck on here. Blah 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 blah. Okay, well, let me give them a little taste of me going MIA for a little bit. And that's exactly what I did. That way, those false ideas, they won't linger around anymore. Because people can say that they don't believe the bullshit, but if there's anything that kind of contradicts that you have done or I've done, people are going to notice that. And they might not outright say they agree with it, but their mind might be thinking, let me just wait and see what ends up happening, blah, blah, blah. So it's important to be authentic and just strive for what you want to do. I'm not ashamed to say that that's been a weakness of mine. Discipline, direction, and following through on stuff. Those are probably my main weaknesses. But I got a lot of strengths. I'm well read. Damn, that shit's good. Ooh, I've never had that before. And no, I'm not drinking at all. Put back the rest of what I got left in the bottle. That's just what I've got left for it. And yeah, it's fruity. I'm be like, bag it, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not the only guy that fucking sometimes likes to drink rum or whatever type of liquor that's got some flavor added to it. or a mixer. I know there's some of you out there that don't, but do you do that because you don't like them, like the taste, or do you do that because you feel like it'll compromise your authenticity as a man, or make people think you're not as manly as you want to be portrayed? See, I don't have that problem. Like, I don't worry about superficial shit. See, that's a superficial fear, anxiety right there, based on some belief system or culture of people you were around one time that said so such and such is fruity stuff, or such and such is a sissy. Men don't drink that, or whatever. And you want to hold on to that and claim it's true. Go ahead, but we all know that somebody put it in your head when you were younger, just like they did me. 151 rum? Never heard of that. Yeah, maybe none of these people around here close with me like tracking them, believe them. I understand that, but it's the people that they have yet to, potentially reach, or that come along and see it and don't understand anything about this part of the algorithm in these places. And guess what? And then you have that on top of them. I said, guess what? But them adding on top of that their little cut out of context, out of a whole long clip, little video clips where they'll, the audio plays only where they want it to start to play and not further back. Because if you went further back, then you'd hear the whole context and it wouldn't, you'd understand it. But if you clip it just right and you put it in a short and then you put a title that says, but what about, or what does this mean? Or, this is weird. Well, then people don't understand the context of why I said what I said. They don't even really understand fully what I said because you chopped it up. Like, why do y'all never, if you're so transparent, you got receipts and you're not afraid you can prove it, how come on those clips, okay, say that you do it because you want to make short form stuff, okay, you don't link though the full stream and the timestamp. If you had put a source in there for that, for the original clip each time, the original file of where that came from, and gave people the opportunity, which, I mean, that defeats the whole purpose. If you do that, they're going to realize, like, okay, he's trying to be funny, I guess. But no, he's not trying to be funny. They're trying to get people that don't understand everything with all these people in these groups on here. They're going to believe their stuff. And that's what they want. They want just a certain amount of people to believe it. They don't care that most of their members and stuff know that that's not all true. As long as they show up in chat and act like it is and regurgitate it, play pretend, it's all good. Then they're viewed as trustworthy. That's what it is, y'all. I mean, can anybody not fucking see or hear? I may not end up just signing up for the original branch I thought of because of one other reason, but I'm going to attempt to see if there's a certain path I can take, which is just getting off antidepressants maybe and having an exam done, psychological one too. I'm going to give it a try, and I might try it. They might give me a shot, and you know what? And I'm not wanting to think this way, but I could get in there, who knows, maybe, and not be able to pass something, or, just realize, like, you know, I just, that could be the case. And if that happens, I mean, it's gonna suck and hurt my confidence, but at least I tried. I mean, you can't fucking say that I'm a bitch for fucking not a man because I won't even try to do shit that's challenging, but I know it's challenging. I will. I do. Greatest, greatest teacher in life that we all have is experience, especially negative experience, an experience where we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. There's value in those experiences. There's values in all that shit. Like the value of learning the lesson so you receive the blessing and never fucking having to deal with that type of situation again. Because there are some things you might not be the sole cause or fault, like when it comes to the person doing what they did or whatever else happens outside of you, but you do ultimately, in a way, choose what environment and people you're unifying with. And if you unite with something, I mean, it like becomes a part of you. You're like assimilated into it, or assimilated with a group of people. You start hanging around another person, you might realize one day you're starting to say things like they do. I mean, it's not because you're trying to copy them or whatever. It's just part of nature. Like if you start reading or looking at a different religion and decide that you're going to go give that a shot, I mean, you're going to think, and I mean, if it's truly, if you're true about it, you're going to change all around. And younger people need to learn this stuff younger than I've started to learn it. You know, I mean, I'm not the smartest person. I freaking, I think I scored what was it? I scored a B on the CBT, but what was the? I can't remember. Damn. Seriously, I thought I had it just a second. Uh, oh well, just can't remember it, guys. I should find out pretty quickly if I'm basically going to find out whether or not it also depends on what their actual real numbers are. Because you never know what's going on in one of these branches or services, like how many people have turned over or left, or how many people get dishonorably discharged. Shit happens all the time. And I know that need people. But the way that one dude down there said it, saying I'm not a fit, like if I'm not a fit, that'll be determined and established either before basic or during basic. Like because if I'm not a fit, then there's no way I can go forward and try basic and all that. Then okay, that's what that is. But if I can try it, then I'm gonna try it. You're gonna say why? Like, aren't you? You should have done that when you were younger. Like, you're not gonna last. You're not physically strong. Like, no shit. That's the whole point of going to basic is to develop shit and do stuff you've never done before and to get disciplined. I mean, that's the whole point of it. Besides to be, good, obeying, mentally aware and active fucking soldiers. That's the man. I mean, yeah, you get it. Can't tell if that person's being sarcastic or not, but and if anyone's wondering, like, well, why the armed forces, like, well, they have a variety of different jobs. It's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind and would, of course, obviously, if I'm wanting to join this to serve my country. But the main reason that I thought about it and it came up first was, unlike what you'll hear, I do think and concern myself with the future. I've tried to have a 5-year plan and 10-year, all that, and I just flunked it. I didn't follow through fully. So like I said, I'm not lying when I say that discipline's something I could work on. And I mean self-discipline, like being able to make myself do certain things, even when they're, not fun or whatever, but because I got to do them, you know, like they need to be done first. And, you know, then later on you can fuck around, whatever. Like, there's shit like that even now, still, sometimes I'm not like, I think about it and I'll just be like, got to do better because my brain won't allow me to say, well, that's acceptable or what have you, or give it an excuse because my brain, like, literally, when I try to do that, I'll think, well, no, you know better. Like, if you could have done, you know, I can't bullshit myself. My brain won't fucking allow me to do it. It's weird, dude, because I've seen some people straight up bullshit all the time and they've never changed. So I don't know. It's not that I guess I can't, but I guess to myself, I won't believe it. Yeah, so that's actually what it is. Now, like I can't, project something false if I wanted to and really, tried, but there's no way I'm gonna be able to ever convince myself of something that is just, not. Some people can though. I mean, for people to be, as many people that be down there, and that's why I said either they're a useful idiot that believes something that's false. And it's possible. I mean, I believed shit about Johnny Oval. I'm not the only one. Several people did. Hundreds. And of course, as soon as Cammy gets exposed, then everybody wants to say, oh, I didn't believe it. Yeah, but you didn't voice it. you know? That's the way it goes, man. I recognize too that certification I have, while it's good and it's not a bad job, and probably if I stayed just like I am, don't get somebody else a partner, and or well, probably not partner wouldn't matter, but as long as I don't have any kids or whatever, and or I lived on my own, and wasn't helping anybody out, I probably could live on that. All right, I wouldn't be balling. But if I were to get into one of these field forces and decide to go into, and they straight up told me, so you said that you had this, and I was like, yeah, and I was thinking about that could, because that could enhance maybe if I. He's like, well, that's exactly what he was about to get to. He said there's even a thing where he said, and you don't, like, you're going to be learning, you're not going to be going through a book really. Some of the stuff, but they certify you, and you can even go in the civilian with a letter, and like say that when you go back to the civilian, you need a job. Well, let's say if in the Army you was a medic and taking blood, different things, or working in a lab, you got certified as an EMT. I mean, he said that you can get certified. Their medics get certified. Not just they can just be EMTs, or they can be EMTs and more. So he's like the phlebotomy thing would he said that would also give you a bonus and like an incentive or a promotion uh, when you're getting ready to start your job and come in, because they like for people that have done some school or whatever already and have a some type of credential that can add to it. you know but it's daunting. I mean, it scares me, like you know what if they say, yeah, you just got to get off the antidepressants, like, I mean, I'm still gonna worry and be nervous a lot, because I never done nothing like that. My brother went to what was it called? Relaxing Jackson's what they call it. It's freaking it's a base out in I think either North or South Carolina. Jackson, North or South Carolina. It's an army base, and it's famous for being one of the most hell on earth fucking boot camps they got. Oh, I know. Like, they're not gonna fucking call. See, that's the thing, though. I ain't gonna have to worry about a drill instructor calling me, something like that. I've been bullied with a lot as I was younger and stuff, and I shared on YouTube. Just being honest, I didn't think, oh well, this fusion and all these other people are gonna share it around themselves. Like, he used to be called that in school all the time. He hates us for calling him a faggot. No one's gonna call me a faggot, even in basic. They don't do that shit. Um, Maybe in the old days they were a little bit more liberal and hit people and stuff. They won't do that nowadays. They'll end up getting their ass discharged, fucking fired, put on another job, demoted, all types of shit. But they do scream. They do yell at you under and put you under pressure. But they also tell you things you should think about to do when you're struggling. And they tell you things to help keep motivating you to go, so you don't give up and quit when you can in reality do it. You just got to push yourself more and learn how to push yourself harder and farther. I could use all that and benefit from it. So, yeah, it's a scary thing though. It's nerve wracking because, one of the reasons why I didn't do any of this when I was younger is because the commitment aspect. I couldn't get over that. And back then, I was listening to so much radio and different talk shows and stuff that was based upon, looking past left versus right, the military industrial complex, all that. Not, after I got out of ROTC, I started kind of not like the military. This is what it is. Like, I heard about all this so-called, horrible things that some soldiers have done from Vietnam onward. But, I mean, you can't. That doesn't mean you do away with the military. I mean, that's kind of like Black Lives Matter thinking. Like, we need to end the police and defund it because it's criminal and racist from the inside and inception out. That's not exactly a true statement, and I don't know where they get that. But police departments were not set up and structured in certain ways just because, prejudice. Like, that's just stupid. I'm not saying there can't be somebody prejudiced in there. So don't take my words out of context. And there is a problem with that whole qualified immunity and officers getting off too easy. I mean, I seen this video where this dude had a bunch of money. I think it was like 1,000, maybe a little bit over 1,000. He just got paid. He gets stopped. He's got a little old dinky warrant he forgot about out of somewhere else. So he's got nothing illegal. He didn't flee, didn't fight. This guy takes his money and he asks him, "Can you show me that again?" When and he showed it to him. Dude was looking around. You could tell he was like suspicious. They get there. They get him out into the garage or the Sallyport area. He tells him, "Hey, that's not, He's like, "I had this much." And she's like, "I'm just counting this out here to just tell you exactly what it is." She's like, at first, it almost seemed like they were just going to say, "Okay, well, you can make a complaint about that, but this is what it is." And he kept on and on and on. And one of the guys was like, "Just, would you mind humoring, so we can get this on body cam?" You know? And he opened up the door, and sure enough, a couple of $100 bills, one underneath the seat and the rest all in the side pocket. Yeah, he stole from that guy. He sure the fuck did. And then at the end of the body cam video, you got his fucking superior coming in saying, "I'm going to have to take your weapon." And he said, "Oh, yeah." And he lets him, You're really gonna, why would you throw that away over a couple $100? I know police don't fucking make a lot too, but god dang. You would think somebody that sees people get locked up for petty, crazy shit all the time would realize not to do something dumb like that. You would think. There's so many people, the videos I've seen, people shoplifting. I mean, just doing the stuff that you really don't have to do. And those are some of the craziest videos I see. People getting beat up, put in jail, stacked charges, resisting, hitting an officer. Like, I was with a guy one time. He's like, "Man," he's like, I said, "All right, I'm done." I was like, he's like, "Shit, fuck that." He's like, I can't pay for all this shit." I'm like, "Well, what are you expecting?" He's like, "I was gonna tell you, get you a duplicate receipt and hand it over to me." Like he was gonna try to walk out with me and not pay for some shit. I was like, "Dude, if do you got no money? Seriously?" He's like, "Well," I was like, "Dude, show me your wallet. If you ain't got no money or whatever, I'm not gonna, but I'll pay for your shit. You're not gonna fucking." I was like, I was like, "Do you not remember my little fucking the check ordeal? The fucking dude I gave a ride, his grandfather's checks, because he had a farm account. He ran different, like, I don't know if it was one farm or different farms, whatever, but he had a fucking farming bank account, checks. And I was like, he had me taken to Walmart. I wish I would have went in with it because I didn't know anything that he was doing. He said he was taking something back, but he had a Walmart sack. But that's just a ruse to do this little scam. I was like, yeah, man. And so I ended up paying for the shit. I was like, don't ever try to do that again, man, with me. I was like, because last I need is another damn arrest because they think I'm a fucking accessory. That's, I could have avoided all that long time ago in 2011 when if I had just simply not been like, no, I can't do it. I ain't got the gas. Of course, he would have said, I'm giving you gas money. Which, yeah, I guess he did, but giving me gas money for a ride to take you somewhere to commit a crime that you don't level with me about, you don't split the money with me 50-50. I said, how am I an accessory? Well, the lawyer said, you're really not. And that's the same thing I told the police. I'm like, how am I really an accessory here? I was like, I didn't get out. I said, you've got him, you said, doing this at how many other places? In how many other states? I said, and I just happened to not be with him at any of those other times before this or after. I said, well, I was like, if I have to go to trial, I guess I have to go to trial because this is one case. I said, I'll take the gamble of the trial. Because they tried to get me just to, the fucking offer they tried to give me at first. I was like, no fucking way. They wanted me to plead guilty to like, uh, not the original, but a reduced one. But here's the thing, it would have been a misdemeanor, but it still would have hurt me because just the charge and everything. Like, I was like, no. I tried to say, oh, like it won't affect you. It doesn't affect your right to vote or your Second Amendment or anything like that. That can affect my. Come to find out that that can affect credit in certain situations. It can affect certain jobs where they, especially if it concerns money and stuff, and you're convicted of something to do with money, think they're gonna hire you? Fuck no. So finally, I got a fucking diversion on that, and I walked it down and I completed it. But I mean, that was very scary because that could very easily turn into me becoming a felon or, you know, having something permanent on my record. I was blessed enough to have family and lucky enough to be believed to the point. Excuse me, my granddad went and talked with that guy's granddad because they knew each other. Like I said, my granddad, I think I've said thousands of times, he knows nearly everybody around here. That's my laugh whenever Kyle tried to goad me into thinking, oh, they're going to be putting these flyers up, blah, blah, blah. The hate has been organized. The only thing you're going to do if you try shit like that, you're going to annoy people because there's going to be people that fucking know better here around here. And you might trick some to be like, what? Really? Is that what's happened to him? I haven't heard from him and seen him in years. The vast majority of people are going to be like, especially if they know my granddad, they'll be like, I'll make sure to talk with Mr. Wilson about it. And he'll tell me the truth. Like, they're not going to fucking believe what y'all say. Not ever. The majority won't. You're going to get some people. I mean, that's just fucking law of probability. statistics and shit, you're gonna find some people that will believe it. Mm. Hell, anytime you need to do something or get something believed or spread around, you're gonna find sooner or later some people that will, just like, what was the phrase they say? Suckers born every minute. People don't like to admit they've been fooled. So, we as humans, we try to lie to ourselves. And I mean, that's why I've got no problem coming on here and stuff. And some people will cringe and or get the wrong idea and be like, "Well, square, you shouldn't care about, you know." Well, I mean, that's just I do. I can't fool myself. I can't fool my brain into believing something that that my eyes and consciousness can tell, and I can tell it's not. I don't have to even describe how it's not. I just know it's not. I mean, I can describe it. There's reasons, but why? I don't need to right now. But when I would go tell somebody for something, they want to know why, so I tell them. And then I get the classic, because I go through my thought. The way I explain things, sometimes I go through and I talk about how I was thinking in that moment. Like, I'll be talking about what I said, then I might stop for a second and say, now I just thought, and go to something that happened in my head, and it follows up. It's exhausting. But I guess that's why that's one name, human condition. No matter what, there's always going to be. I say I didn't know like, I didn't know that at all, but everything will find a place for it. Oh, you're rambling, Ian. Just about almost to the point of accepting my damn how I've been going to sleep and stuff, because just, man, I don't know. I just cannot freaking seem to, like, I think about it like, oh, I'd like to go to bed at 10:30. The hour before 10, I start to watch something that's real interesting or whatever. Or maybe I had a phone call or something. Something will happen. Seems like every time I get wound up, and then next thing you know, when I do try to lay down, because I do, I can't sleep. And so you have a night like tonight where it's 2:41 a.m. and I'm up here fucking talking about a range of different shit. And people tomorrow will say and call it a word salad and all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You know, theories to see if it's true. And they're going to find out it's not. And then they're going to know. And your jig's up with that person and whoever else they convince. Oh, shit. Completely forgot. Hold on. Guess what? I just got a message from the person that y'all claimed I killed. Does that count as a death check? You know, because if so, they're alive and well. Anyways, guys. Excuse me. Get the fruit punch flavor, y'all. That's all I got to say. If you know, you know. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night in the stream. Or end up fucking crashing out. I'll probably end up being up for another hour, I bet. Because I'm going to go on over to my bud's house. Not just my bud, but also one with the neck thing, the one that I do my, work on. Oh yeah, we're friends. Yeah. So what do y'all want to do now? Say that he's gay too? Like you did with Saul, say that he's gay and therefore because you call me a faggot, I am too. So I must have got that guy and became friends by, y'all gonna say all that stuff, right? Right. Except there's I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm not violating his identity or privacy, but if you knew stuff, you knew that wouldn't fly, you know. So go ahead, say it if you want to. Yeah, he messaged me and asked me if I was when I got that and saw it, he said that he was awake and asked if I fucking wanted to come over and watch this show I was watching on Netflix. I let him use my Netflix that me and my grandpa use, and he's the third user. He's on a fixed income. He's disabled. At the retirement age, he don't work anymore. He's had a hard life. Like that's something that makes me like I don't know how people could say ever that. Oh, I just wanted to get on a check and wanted to I see how people live on checks, and I didn't even pay in enough SSI ever yet. That if I did get something approved based on a condition, I wasn't going to get nothing but barely $800 a month. Maybe even a little less than 800, like 790 and something, I think is what it really was. I can't survive. No, who the fuck can survive on that? Maybe if you live like where I'm at now, get discounted bills and everything else, but without that, you're fucked. And pretty soon, it's going to be almost impossible to live here, I bet, on fixed income. Just let the economy keep going. I hope it don't. I hope it goes the opposite way. But that's the cynicism and cynical nature of me. More willing and expecting to think shit's going to get worse before it ever, if even possibly, can ever get good or better. All right, I gotta go. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, people that come and listen. I did ask if Squirrel was watching this for him to come up. The fact that somebody so quickly was in here trying to say that he's asleep. Why are you doing it? He's asleep. I didn't plan it, just spur of the moment. Before I got on here, I just fucking caught up with that picture from 3 weeks ago. And Mustard, that. Hold on, double check. I don't want to fucking be wrong. Squirrel, you've got too many posts outright fucking threatening me. So you can do your little implied creative threats and use the word justice, whatever, karma. It ain't gonna work, bud. You don't realize I had a couple of different people, one particular person, police, and another person that is not my granddad, not somebody that's gonna just, they're gonna tell me, answer my question. It's clear from both of them that you mean me harm, you hate me, and you're doing this campaign against me. And they wouldn't doubt it if I would have, you know, it's like I explained and said, I had those two come. I was like, so what if he does get ballsy and come? I'm outside, like, you know, and you can grin and think that if you think that this is somehow like appeasing to you, you're just a lost soul, a squirrel. You really are. I shouldn't even call you squirrel. That's too nice. I don't know why I'm acting too fucking nice with you, but fucking your name's Kyle Victory, DV boy, bitch. Likes to make up and say people's fucking around with kids and attacking them in real life. Why don't you just fucking go get you a shirt that says I'm a victim, just like Jules? Why don't you just do that too? Remember, you always saying that I'm just going to be the victim. Square the big old victim. It's kind of hard to call me a pretend victim when you literally are victimizing and bringing a fucking child into this. And then you go around and say I'm doing what with children? The fucked up shit you say? And then you got that picture on your goddamn page? Have you lost have you lost the regular little bit of fucking common sense that you had? Because I think something's gone. Because holy hell, dude, that's shame on all of you that sit around this fucker and let him get by saying things to go at me, knowing damn well what the fuck he's doing. And y'all are subscribed and shit. Hell, I seen some of y'all comment on it. Y'all want to call in there anonymously? Make up some, or what you think is anonymously and protected, and you're hidden, and lie on me and the numbers and numbers of people that you got. I'm not saying do it. I'll, obviously, I kind of have to say, please don't do that because that's fucked up and wrong. You know, we'll see. It might just be a fucking blessing in disguise and backfire on you. So I'd consider if I was you, DB boy, I'd consider your past actions current and what you want your future, what you're going to decide your future ones are going to be, and then contemplate what's the average or probable result prize at the end, if there is one that you can, you know, basically. I mean, if you know about something, or I don't know, maybe you got some fucked up beliefs that you just think. I don't know if you're religious. You might just be do what thou wilt. You know, you may not believe in anything. I don't know. Kyle, but just know that you know for sure. Like, say you see me outside or something when you come uninvited, and I told you not to. If you wait for me to go in the house because you want me to come out that's not gonna work. Seth was able to. He got that one. Uh, it worked there. I'm just glad though that I didn't choose to. I could have picked a very worse option. I could have committed a crime that day, a big crime. And then when Paula screamed felony, it would have actually meant something. But I didn't pull a boogie. I didn't pull no boogie. I didn't go out there and do nothing stupid. Except for opening the door and going out there. And what you want me? I'm not gonna say that I was wrong for what else I did, because he got my fucking personal space. That fucking phone. That's exactly why I smacked it out of his fucking hands. Bitch. Alright, where's stuff at? It's going 80 miles an hour. I guess I'll go over here and watch some BCS, Better Call Saul, or you'll have freaking, you either want to watch that, or what was that other one called? Can't think of it. Oh, Wyatt Earp. Yeah, there it is. That's the name, Wyatt Earp. God, man. I'm getting a little sluggish. I really need to either eat better or do something different, because I am forgetting a lot of stuff lately. Having mind blocks and shit. I don't know why. Pray for me if you would. Get heart. All right, guys. Good night, everybody that ain't went to bed yet, and good morning to those that are waking up or will wake up. To all you haters and stuff, fuck off. Stop your lying. savor and cling on like you do every day to this very minuscule amount of attention some of you still get. Cling on to it tight, because you never know when, the next phase is out. I think we're going to, yeah, it started. We're going to start the next phase project I thought through. I hope I hope everything works the way I think, but we'll see. Trial and error. So, don't expect a stream like this again, especially randomly late. I won't fully say that I won't still yet, because I'd like for him to come on panel, even though he's going to sit there and he's going to try to think as hard as he can with his pea brain and come back with what he thinks are the most wittiest retorts, insults, demean me, whatever. And I can handle it. I'll handle it. I'll let you. You can do it. I'm not giving you approval to do it, but I mean, if you're going to do it, then you're going to do it. I want you up on panel because I want to say something very clear to you one time only. And whether you don't care, fuck it off, or laugh at it, whatever, just let me do that. It gives you the opportunity to come up on my panel and, get some pats on the back and maybe do whatever you think will make other people be impressed with you. Win-win, right? I think so. And trust me, you really do want to hear this, because if you ever do, or if you, have already caused somebody and end up, starting a mess of shit, Kyle, well, then I guess it wouldn't matter. So, I could not believe you guys. I know I'm still not off here yet, but I just have to say, I could not believe what he wrote down. And then I was just in shock earlier, dude. That's when I got on, I streamed, and I said what I had to say to him, and I said, fuck you, maggot, and I got off. But I got back on, just can't sleep. Been on here for an hour and 34 minutes, so deuces, I'm out. Peace and blessings, everybody. TV boy, either come on and let me face you one-on-one to tell you something, and then fuck off and do whatever you want, or I'm gonna call you a pussy, because that's some pussy shit. I mean, you do it to everybody else. I know they won't drop a panel or unblock it. I'll unblock you and let you up on the panel, DB boy. One time. So, get at me. Peace.